Yo, what's going on, guys? We're doing my third year of what to expect for the Golden State Warriors season preview and prediction. I expect this team to easily be a top 5 seed in the West. Okay, defending champs. We're going to see James Wiseman. We're going to see if Andrew Wiggins can keep up what he did last year. And we have some great position battles. Andre Iguodala is returning, but as you guys know, Jerome Robinson, Pat Spencer, also Guy Santos is not on the team. He's going to be a draft and stash this year. If you guys did not know this, he's not on the training camp roster, and they have said earlier as soon as they drafted him that they were looking to stash him. I believe they're trying to find a better league than Brazil to stash him in, so expect him to play probably in Australia or somewhere in Europe. Now, the team is Patrick Baldwin, Stephen Curry, Dante DiVincenzo, who's helping replace the loss of Gary Payton, Otto Porter, Michael Green, who's also helping that. Jonathan Kuminga, who's, they're expecting to help replace Otto Porter's minutes. Kevon Looney, Matt Mcclung, one of the guys battling for a training camp for a roster spot. I think one roster spot's available. Moses Moody, Jordan Poole, Lester Quinones on a two-way, Jerome Robinson, Ryan Rollins, Pat Spencer, arguably one of the best lacrosse players out of Maryland, Loyola, Maryland, my home state. And he played 4 years of lacrosse and then used his graduate year to play a year of basketball at Northwestern. Klay Thompson, Quindary Witherspoon, Andrew Wiggins, Andre Iguodala, Trevion Williams, and James Wiseman. Now, we expect the rotation for this year to probably be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney, with James Wiseman being the primary backup center, which, if they feel like that's going to be it, with Michael Green also helping up being the backup center, as well as Draymond Green when they go super small. Jonathan Kuminga we expect to be the primary backup power forward behind Draymond Green, with Moses Moody backing up Andrew Wiggins, and Andre Iguodala also helping out there, while Dante DiVincenzo will play that Gary Payton role and be backing up Klay Thompson, while Steph Curry will be backed up by Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole will be this team's sixth man, and that's where it gets interesting because they have Patrick Baldwin, who's also going to be a backup power forward, and we expect him to eventually get more and more minutes as time passes. Quindary Witherspoon and Lester Quinones are on two ways, so we don't expect to see them much play. But Baldwin and Ryan Rollins, they're going to be just filtering. Ryan Rollins is more of a point guard, shooting guard, along the lines of like a poor man CJ McCollum. Pat Baldwin, he's a guy who's got really good shooting mechanics, and I really think he's just going to be like the third or fourth power forward, okay, and third or fourth small forward wing, if you want to put it like that. Now, when it comes to position values, I could see Trevion Williams maybe having the upper edge, or Matt Mcclung. Matt Mcclung was one of the best G League players last year. He put on a show in this Summer League this past season. I do hope Matt Mcclung makes it the Georgetown, Texas Tech alumni. Or Trevion Williams, he just fits the bill. They need another, arguably a third backup big man. He passes really well. Arguably, he could become a decent shooter from deep. He just fits the teams, well. And I think if you look at it, this is a team. And people forget Guy Santos and Justin Jessup are two guys that they have overseas that will eventually come over. If I had to put my money on, it's between Matt Mcclung or Trevion Williams. I joke that Pat Spencer could make it if he just shows that he can play defense. I honestly think whoever shoots the best and plays the best defense is going to make it. But the biggest question with this team, writes Anthony Slater of The Athletic, the Warriors just won a title, but it did it with little playoff help from their three recent lottery picks. James Wiseman missed the entire season, while Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody only made light cameos on the biggest stage. The title-proven veterans dragged them across the finish line. But now, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, and Moses Moody are all being elevated rotational roles, filling in for the departed Gary Payton II, Otto Porter Jr., and Nemanja Bjelica, all underrated depth pieces. And yeah, I think right here, that's why also I think Trevion Williams could have a shot to make it. But Pat Baldwin could gets a few play the cameo role that Kuminga played last year, while Kuminga, Michael Green, James Wiseman, all fill in that Nemanja minutes and the backup center role, and help give Draymond Green and Kevon Looney, all who are getting up there in age. Kevon, I think, hasn't hit 30 yet, but Draymond obviously has. get a breather while Moses Moody also, picking up some wing minutes. Dante DiVincenzo helping out there. Andrew Wiggins, we hope, continues playing like how he did for the entire season. And the real question is are these young guys ready for the increased roles? And again, I think this is a top 5 team easily right here. And if we look at, the Warriors from a year ago, you definitely look at them and you say, fuck, like this was a team that had arguably like a lot of depth. And I still think they have the depth. It's just, are these young guys ready to play the minutes that are needed to be played for a championship team? And I think so. I think they are ready. I don't think there's any concern about that. But I think when we look at it right here, okay, Warriors stats from last year, okay, and I think that's definitely something that's going to bring up because I want to talk about the minutes. People don't realize how much minutes that Nemanja and Otto Porter and Gary Payton played last year for this team. And if you look at it, Otto Porter played the 6th most minutes a night in 22 minutes a night. Okay, and Damian Lee even left. Damian Lee was playing 19.9, and that's another guy who left. Okay, and we don't expect and Andre Iguodala only played 31 games, but he was playing 19.5 minutes. Gary Payton 17.6. So if you just look like right there, 19.9, and right there that's like 39.4. Then you throw in another 17.6. Okay, that brings you to 40.5 plus 17, 57.6, and then you throw in 22, that's 79.8 minutes that Jonathan Kuminga played 17. Okay, so now he's going to be playing more. And then you have Nemanja, who's also playing 16 tonight, so that's 95 minutes. Okay, 95, basically 96 minutes that you got to replace. Also, Juan Toscano-Anderson's gone. That's another 14. Okay, so that's 110 minutes basically you're replacing. And even if you want to throw like Chris Chiozza, like I don't even think he matters, but Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, okay, Pat Baldwin, Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green, they're gonna need to replace Juan Toscano-Anderson, Nemanja Bjelica, Gary Payton, and I think they are ready. I think they are 100% ready. I think it's gonna be great. But so this team last year was had the best defensive rating. Okay, had the best defensive rating and were allowed the 3rd least amount of points. And their offensive rating was 17th. I think this team will flip-flop. They'll be one of the top offensive teams while being maybe middle of the pack defensively. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's definitely like I could see that happening. Yeah, I see this team being better offensively this season than defensively, but I still see them being maybe like a top 15 at least, but more top 10 defensive team, closer to 10 than 1, while being definitely a top 10, arguably a top 5 offensive team. I just see this team just being a shooting firepower, okay? But I could also see them continuing to be the best defense, and they make a deep playoff run because they have like an amazing defense, and their offense just struggles because like the young guys can't hit their shots. Let me hear your thoughts. I definitely think it's interesting. Peace out. Yeah, bye.